On today's episode, I'm going to record the acoustic guitar part. On this episode, I'm going to record... On this episode, I'm going to add an acoustic guitar track to my cover of John Mayer's Slow Dancing in a Burning Room. This is one track at a time. Boom! Did you see that? Did you see that? It's been about 6 weeks, I think, since I recorded the bass track for this song. The song being Slow Dancing in a Burning Room by John Mayer. If this is your first time watching my channel, first off, thanks for joining. Second of all, this is a series of videos where I record a cover song track by track. I call it one track at a time. And today we're going to add an acoustic guitar part to the Slow Dancing in a Burning Room song that I've been working on. Now, if you're familiar with this, you might be thinking, acoustic guitar part? I don't hear an acoustic guitar on that song. And until about a week ago, I hadn't either. Where I first heard it was during the outro to the song, where it really becomes more obvious, and except it doesn't hit you as an acoustic guitar. It sounds more like part of the percussion. It becomes most obvious in the outro, where the picking pattern changes to be more change from more of a da 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 to more of a constant 16th note. And what it does is really drives the rhythm section of the song into an entire different level of energy and intensity. And it's a really cool effect that you really don't notice. You don't think, oh, there's an acoustic guitar there. You just think about the energy of the song changing during the outro, during that second guitar solo. And so that's what we're gonna do today, is record that guitar part. When I listen back to the song, what I hear from the acoustic guitar most obviously is an open B and E note kind of ringing through the entire chord progression. So that tells me that it's gonna be open chords in the key of E, obviously. And so that's what we're gonna do, is just kind of like an open chord acoustic guitar part and really focus in on the rhythmic aspect and the kind of the high-end sizzle of the acoustic, and kind of adding that presence and that rhythm to the song. So before I get into actually recording the part, I realized while I was getting ready for this that I have never actually tried out all my microphones for acoustic. I don't have that many, and they're all fairly cheap. The nicest one that I have is probably this Shure SM7B. This is the most recent microphone that I've purchased. You might not recognize this microphone without the windscreen on it, but it's made mostly, I would say, for vocal performance. So there's like a foam screen that goes over the top of this, but if you take it off, you can get a little bit more brightness and top-end clarity to your sound. So when there's no like breathiness coming into the microphone that you want to block out with a screen, it's nice to take it off for something like an acoustic guitar. If I'm miking a guitar amp, this is the way that I use it. So that's my first mic. The other microphone that I have two of these, is a Sennheiser E609. It's another dynamic microphone. I use this mostly on guitar amps, and it kind of does the same job as an SM57 would on a guitar cabinet, kind of a similar frequency response, and yeah, but it's nice just to have this like real low profile that I can put up against a speaker and not have it take up a bunch of space. The third microphone that I have is older than I am. It's probably at least 40 years old. It's a Shure Unidyne 3 dynamic microphone. This is the predecessor to the SM57. And I've just had this, got it from, my dad had it around when he was doing music when I was a kid, and somehow it ended up in my gear bag. So I've got this one. This mic is surprisingly nice. It sounds really great. I've used it on acoustic before, but I'm gonna add this in the shootout. And then the last one is my overhead microphone. This is a cheap $50 video mic. It's the Rode Video Mic. And I'm gonna try that one out too, because why not? It's here, I've got it. Let's try them all out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna record a small part of the chord progression on acoustic with each of these microphones, and then we're gonna compare them back to back. I'm gonna line them up in Ableton so that we can listen to them all back to back, and I'll play through them twice. And we'll see which one we like best for the song. Well, that was interesting. I really don't hate the sound of this Rode Video mic. It's got a lot of top end on it, got a lot of crisp. I mean, it's not a whole lot of body to it, but yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, for sure. I think overall, I definitely like the SM7B the best. If I was going for like a full acoustic guitar sound, especially where the acoustic was more in the front of everything, I definitely probably lean towards that one. But for this song with kind of the rhythmic nature and the percussiveness, I think I actually liked the old Unidyne best for this application. So I'm gonna use that to record this part. Awesome, now that I've got the microphone picked that I'm gonna use for this part, let's get into the recording.
Was the one you always dreamed of. Go cry about it, why don't you? Go cry about it, why don't you? Go cry about it, why don't you? My dear, wait, slow dancing up the
Man, I love what that picking part at the end, that strumming part during the outro does to this song. It really changes the entire rhythmic mood of the song at that point. It adds a lot of intensity. I love that. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for today. This was a quick one. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of that part. Did I get the part right? I've spent this week creating quite a large backlog of videos that I'd like to shoot. So I think I've got about 12 of them planned at this point. So hopefully I'll be able to start churning some out again. It's, you know, the hardest part about doing this YouTube thing so far that I've learned is really just planning my videos and getting motivated to make a plan and stick to it, especially figuring out what I'm gonna say. I tend to wing it a lot more than I'd like to, but it's just been really hard to sit down and like write out an outline for what to say in these videos. But I'm learning. I think I'm getting a little bit better. Hopefully I'll continue to learn and get better. And I'll be back soon with some more one track at a time videos and maybe some gear reviews and demos as well. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, go make something.